Hello and welcome to another video from Attribution Gaming, and we're back here in World of Tanks, and today we are going to be in our Fury. The Fury is the M4 Sherman. It's actually an M4A3E8 Sherman that was in the movie Fury, of which is currently located in the Bovington Tank Museum if you wish to see it in real life. So this tank was brought out alongside when the movie was released. And you can see here that they've kept all the features from what you see in the tank in the movie. It's got Fury on the barrel. It's got all these extra little bits that you can see all around, which were in the movie itself. So that's pretty cool. And then if you look over here, you've got the crew, and the crew are representative again of the people who were the crew in the movie. So pretty cool tank. And one of the things I really like about the tank is its rate of fire, and that's really what we're going to be looking at today. It has a gun loading of 2.7 seconds, which for a tier 6 is pretty good. I mean, its average damage is not high at 115, penetration 128, even the premium rounds penetration is not that great at sort of around about that 165 mark on average. Which, you know, seems like quite good at tier 6, but when you get to the fact this tank can be matched against tier 8s, it can struggle. And one thing I do find about Shermans is they do struggle when they get up tiered. But overall, this tank is pretty fun to play. It's pretty cool having the tank from the movie. As always, our crew is not the best. We don't actually have any skills fully trained on the crew. We do have a full set of equipment, of normal equipment, vents, rammer and vertical stabilizers, and normal consumables. The armor on this tank, again, not great. You've got 64 on the hull, 64 on the turret, which is not the best. Mobility is even the mobility is not that fast. It's, you know, it's 41 top speed, 16 reverse, which seems not too bad, but overall it doesn't seem to have that power to weight ratio, which gives it you know, a lot of speed for a medium tank at this tier. But it does have good 10 degrees of gun depression, and it has quite fast aiming time. And if you actually look, currently its average damage per minute is 2,489, and that is that rate of fire really coming into play. So overall, I think it's a fun tank. I think it's pretty cool playing the tank from the movie with the crew and everything and the way it looks. Say a great rate of fire. It's not the best of the M4 Shermans. There was a package of 3 premiums that came out. The Russian Lozers Sherman, of which we've already done a video on with an ace tanker on that one. The Fury and the Firefly VC. Now, I think the British Firefly VC version is the best. It has a bit of a slower rate of fire, but better damage and better penetration and so on. So I actually think the British version is the best, but this one can be really fun, and if you get the right matchup, that rate of fire can be really, really fun to play. And we're going to jump into some gameplay now and see that rate of fire at work. So let's go and jump into that now. Live Oaks it is. So here we are with our Fury. We are top tier. There are 5 tier 6s, the rest being tier 5s. 4 tank destroyers on there, no artillery, which is very nice. The artillery at this tier can be absolutely brutal. And what we're going to do first is we're going to go down into the south, and we're going to play along the south area. I do prefer this area. I do find going in the city can be very time consuming. It's not to say it shouldn't at least defend that flank, but very time consuming. And with a lot of tanks these days, most of them, sort of the meta tanks at least, do play quite well on ridgeline. So I do prefer playing in this area on the map. And I do think whoever wins this area is in a really great position, because you have some really nice areas where you have a lot of cover onto the spawn of both sides, or onto the cap area of both sides. So we're coming down here, we've got support from a Cromwell B, support from a T-34-85, and we can already see a T-34-85 has pushed a dip, P-43 peeking over the top as well. Our T-34-85 has gone in there. Those two are battling it out, and our T-34-85 is left on 17 hit points, but we do take the dip. Cromwell B went in there as well. So our T-3485, it nearly cost him, but we have won the dip. And if you can, you should win this area. It allows you to put so much pressure on the enemy team to the point where you can also come round and flank rather than being a head-to-head. So we've got an M4A3E2, so a Duke of the Shermans. And the first shot, bad shot into the turret. That was silly shot. But we do get the second one in. And again, a bad shot into the turret. You don't shoot the turret on that tank. We need to go for the side or flat to the front. And here you can see side shot, and we do finish. And there's the rate of fire. The rate of fire allows me to compensate for the mistakes of shooting in the wrong place. Right, so we are now coming over, and we're looking to flank these tanks that are in the dip, and there are a few of them. So we can't seem to get a shot on him, but oh, look at this, there's a nice Stug, and watch this rate of fire punish this Stug 3. And boom, and he's gone, and he probably didn't even really know what was going on at that point. And then here comes a P43. He did move down quick enough before we could get that rate of fire on his turret. But we're going to continue pushing. Now I'm aware of the tank destroyers potentially at the back of the map. We've got to be careful of. We're turning our turret to ensure we face the enemy. We don't have much turret armor, so we do have to make the most of it. We've got a damaged gun. We repaired the damaged gun, and the KV-1 is going to be the next target. So we just need to come over and finish the KV-1. We managed to bounce the KV-1 on the turret. We keep coming over it. Now look, here's the rate of fire into the back of that Stug. And it's just literally, it's almost like a machine gun. You know, you see this sort of rate of fire in the much lower tiers. This is actually really fantastic. So this is what this tank does in spades. It is an absolute furious rate of fire, excusing the pun on that one. So our Fury tank now pushing up. Now I'm expecting there to be at least one tank destroyer in the bushes at the back. I'm trying to use the terrain as much as possible. And there you go, there's a T-67. We managed to bounce him on the turret, but he does get a second shot, and he does have a great rate of fire as well. T-67, a very, very good tank. We push up on the far right hand side now, and that T-67 continuing to punish us, but we have to reveal him or he will just sit there and farm us. We get the shot into him, and I'm expecting him now to be killed, and there he is. So we did use most of our hit points on doing that, but it was better to take him out. There's only a few enemy tanks left, and we needed to make the most of our hit points and get him removed. Otherwise, he could sit there in that location and cause a lot of problems. Plus, I had, all my hit points, or most of my hit points left. It was actually worth doing. And again, rate of fire on this M10. It allows us, even with the amount of people that are shooting him, it allows us to get, at least 2 shots into him. So we finished off the N10 now, and we've got only a few tanks left to push into the city. So this has been an absolute rollover game, but we've actually been able to make the most of it, and that's because of the rate of fire, and it's actually made this rollover game a little bit more fun than it would be if you didn't have that rate of fire. But we do have 3 heavy tanks left in the town. There's still 2 tier 6s in the town, but we can see they are under a lot of pressure from our tanks, and there goes the VK already. So shooting on the move, as you're going to see here, the shooting on the move, look at the size of that reticle. Here comes the T50, and you kind of you do need to really stop and shoot if you can. The shooting on the move, even with vertical stabilizers, isn't the best. Of course, it would be significantly improved if we had snapshot and smooth ride, but we don't have those skills yet. Right, so T50-2 and the KV-1 duking it out, and they managed to finish off that M4A1, MT25 going in there as well. They're fighting around the buildings where it's just as easy to go through them. So we go through the buildings here, and boom, and I don't know if they thought they were safe or those buildings couldn't be destroyed, but we just went straight through the building, and now we're going to put into this T50-2. He's got virtually no armor, and we finish him off pretty quickly. We go back into the KV-1 and we finish him off as well, and that's a Top Gun. There's our 6 kills for Top Gun, and it just goes to show the rate of fire. We were just able to just mow through the T50-2 and the KV-1. I don't think we're going to get a chance to get that KV-1S. No, we're not. But there we go. We finish up with 2,465 combined, 2,200 direct damage. When you think that you're averaging 115 damage a shot, and many of those shots actually we got less than that, a lot less than that, because we were finishing off already dead tanks. Think of the amount of shots we managed to get in that game, and that was purely down to the rate of fire. Let's jump back to the garage. And there we are, our Fury tank with its furious rate of fire. As I said, it can be a really fun tank. If you're fighting at tier 6 and tier 5, it can be a really, really fun tank and great to play. If you get up tiered to tier 7 and even more tier 8, you do kind of start to feel a little bit useless. If you can get the flank in, I mean, you do need to play very much a supporting role in those up tier matches. You know, if you get the flank in, you've seen the rate of fire can be devastating. So, you know, that is really the only way that you can get something from it, and you can get something good, but it can be quite difficult to get in those flanking areas. You don't really have the fastest tank in the world or the mobility to get there. You're quite high profile as well, so it's difficult to sneak low along, you know, very small ridge lines and stuff. So I do find it quite a tough tank to use in those up-tiered matches. And overall, of the 3 M4 Premium Shermans, I do think the Firefly VC is the best choice. That said, if you like the fact that this was a tank from the movie, and if you do go and see this tank in the Bovington Tank Museum for real, which is pretty cool, then then by all means get it, and I'm sure that you'll have plenty of fun in the tank itself. So there we go. That was the end of that match. Unfortunately, it wasn't an ace tanker, but I think we were something like 7 base XP off our ace tanker, but that is just how it goes. If maybe we got a couple more shots in, it would have been different. Thanks for watching. You've been watching Ethereal Gaming. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Let us know why. We'll look to see if we can improve it. We stream live on Twitch, on Facebook Gaming and YouTube, so if you like the content, please like, subscribe, follow. It's free for you and it helps us out a great deal. You've been watching Ethereal Gaming, and I'll see you on the battlefield.